Thank you. Next is the Canadian Constitution Foundation.
Minister Blair, good evening. My name is Sujit Choudhry. I am counsel for the Canadian Constitution Foundation. I have some questions for you about some remarks you made or evidence you provided in your witness statement regarding the sequencing of requests by the OPS to the OPP and the RCMP. And so just for the sake of time, I'd prefer not to call it up, although I will if you'd like to refresh your memory. But do you recall you said that the City of Ottawa and the OPS were not following the proper procedure for requesting resources because requests for police resources in Ontario are formally governed by Section 9 of the Police Services Act?
And I believe that I expanded upon that evidence in my examination in chief earlier today, sir, that I am familiar, of course, with a number of circumstances where various police services may seek and obtain assistance from others. I was also just simply pointing out to council that there is a provision within the Police Services Act that allows for a police chief dealing with an emergency that exceeds the capacity of his police service to manage. There is a section in the Act that allows him to request assistance from the OPP.
And Minister Blair, would you agree that that provision, although it authorizes a municipal police force or a chief of police to seek assistance from the OPP, it doesn't require that they go first to the OPP before going to the RCMP? No,
and in fact, again, depending on the circumstances, they often go to neighboring police services. I can tell you from experience in the Toronto Police Service, we very frequently assisted other municipalities because we had a fairly robust and well-established public order unit that we would assist those other police services.
Okay. And so you'll recall the tripartite calls that Chief Slowly participated on February 7th and 8th.
Yes, sir.
And you had a brief interaction with him. And this was after the request for policing resources was sent simultaneously by Mayor Watson and Chair Deans, both to Ontario and to the federal government. And this type of concern about sequencing, it wasn't ever relayed to him, was it?
I did not discuss the Ontario Police Services Act with the mayor.
Right.
My primary interaction was with the mayor, and on the first the tripartite meeting, Chief Slowly joined that call right at the end, and we did not discuss.
And you'd agree there's nothing in the RCMP Act that says that the RCMP can't respond to a request from a municipal police service?
No, and in fact they do, but there is actually, the Ontario Police Services Act is silent to the RCMP, and the RCMP has some capacity to respond, but under normal circumstances, it's somewhat limited.
Sure, and this wasn't a normal circumstance, though, was it?
No, I think that, as I said, it was uniquely challenging for the City of Ottawa and then in the multiple other jurisdictions that were being impacted by the blockades.
And so if I could conclude here, so you'd agree that even though in the normal course it might be appropriate and it might be standard practice for a municipal police service in this province to first go to the OPP or to other municipal police forces before going to the RCMP, perhaps in the case of the convoy and in the national capital region, it might have been entirely appropriate to set aside that normal practice and go directly to the RCMP in parallel.
I can tell you from a long experience that the RCMP are actually a very important and valued partner in providing public safety services here in the national capital region. And because they have a presence here, probably stronger than anywhere else in Ontario.
Thank you, sir.
Of course, sir.